Okay, 5.2 rates. We're going to do 5.2 and 5.3. 5.2 is rates, like miles per gallon, something like that. That's a rate. Okay, if they gave you so many miles and told you how many gallons, you would do the miles divided by the gallons to get the miles per gallon. Okay? If they tell you there's 2 cars, oh, let's make it 21 cars for 7 people. Okay? You're going to figure out how many cars per person, cars per people. So you're going to have 21 cars for 7 people. That would be 3 cars per person. Since it's 1, we went to person. You always do it for one of the bottom things. It would be for 1 gallon, for 1 person. So the rates would be for 1. Okay? So let's say we had 72 miles. You went 72 miles on 4 gallons. 72 miles, 4 gallons. 72 divided by 4. What is that? 18?
Yeah.
When you do 72 divided by 4 is 18 miles per gallon. For 1 gallon. So you just do the top divided by the bottom.
So all you're doing is
Or
top
first
divided by the
the
bottom?
second, right?
Yeah. Or this, yeah, or first divided by second, either way. Yep. So if it wants to know, this is called a unit rate. Right here, for one of these things, this is called unit rate. That means for 1 unit. Okay? If it gave you 15 feet in 35 seconds, and it didn't want the unit rate, it just wanted it reduced, put your 15 feet over 35 seconds, and if you were reducing this, how would you reduce this? You divide by 5, right?
Right.
Dividing by 5, you would have 3 feet, right?
3 7.
3 feet for how many seconds?
7.
We're dividing by 5. 3 feet in 7 seconds. Okay. This is just reduced. Okay? This is unit. So the first thing it asks you is the reduced one. The second part that they want some 5.2 is a unit rate. Okay, so the first part, all you gotta do is reduce it. Okay. I think you can figure out odometer readings, how many miles you went. That's pretty straightforward. You started out with this odometer reading, ended at this odometer reading. Of course, you're going to subtract them to get how many miles you went. Here's how many gallons. So miles per gallon, you do miles divided by the gallons, right? It may not come out exact. Most likely it won't. It says to go to the nearest tenth. So if you need to, go to the nearest tenth on those. These problems up here, let's just reduce them. These problems, unit rates. This divided by this divided by this. You just put bushels per tree. This would be dollars per hour. Okay? So you're going to use these units here to tell what the unit rate is. You divide this one out, you'll have how many dollars per day.
Ooh, Connie. Oh, that ain't
I think
you.
that's me.
I thought that was you, Connie.
No, not me.
I was going to get it, dude.
Nope, not me. Okay, look at these right here. If you have cereal, so many ounces for that many dollars. What is a unit here? what would you be trying to find? Your price, right? Your price would be the dollars for how many ounces, right?
Yeah.
You need dollars per ounce. So do the dollar divided by the ounce. Okay, so each one of these, it looks like it's in this order, but do the dollar divided by ounce, not first divided by second. It would be dollars
I see.
on all of these, dollars divided by ounces. If you want the lowest, if you want the best cost, the best buy would be the lowest price, right?
Right.
You don't know what the quality is, so you don't know best buy by quality. So the best buy, it says up here, find the best buy, that would be your lowest unit cost. So find all of them. You may go ahead and write down like 3 or 4 numbers. If you do it on the calculator and it goes to 4 or 5 numbers, write them all out because you might need them. You know, you may only need like the first 2 numbers.
But write them all out.
Go ahead and write a few of them out in case you need them. Okay? And the only part on your answer is you have to put which one. But go ahead and have all the prices. And, you know, if you do it on a calculator, you might as well write 3 or 4 numbers. You didn't have to do the division anyway. Okay? So if you did this divided by this, do 1.29 divided by 12. What do you get? Anybody have a calculator? If you did $1.29 divided by 12, you know the 1 right there, right? 9 comes down, 12 doesn't go into 9, 12 into 90. Somebody do $1.29 divided by 12 for me?
I got
1075? Okay. And then the next one says $1.79 for 18 ounces. What's $1.79 divided by 18?
0.99 and a bunch of 4s and 5.
0.99. Okay, well you could already tell.
Like you guys
What,
like
09?
Yep.
Yeah, not 0.99. It's not 99
No,
cents,
it's
right?
0.099.
0.099. Okay, so you could already tell this bed is a better price than that, right? But do all 4 of them, and there may be another one that's like 9 cents. You know, it may be 0.98, or it may be 0.10 something. And do all of them, and then just see which one's a better buy. Okay. Let me see. There's one here, number 36. You might want to underline this part of it to make sure you don't forget to take the 40 cents off of one box. Okay, this is a pretty intense problem here. It's got, you know, not super intense, but you got 2 pounds of facial tissue. Brand K is specially priced at 3 boxes of 175 tissues each for $5. Brand S is priced at $1.29 for 125 tissues. You have a coupon for 20 cents off one box of brand S. So you could take 20 cents off of one box. And you have a coupon for 45 cents off one box of brand K. How can you get the best buy on one box? Okay? So what you're going to do is you take the brand K, has 3 boxes for $5. Divide that out and see how much it is if you do 3 boxes for $5. You would get $5 divided by 3 is $1.67. Okay, if you had the coupon, that means that you would take 45 cents off because that was brand K. It'd be $1.22 for one box. Brand S is just one box is $1.29. A coupon of 20 cents, so 20 cents off that's $1.09, right? So the best buy for one box would probably be the Brandettes, wouldn't it? That would
Then
be.
you get 50 more tissues in one than the other.
Oh, so you need to do the tissues too, huh? Yeah. Does it say per tissue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
On one box.
175 tissues for brand K and 125, so you're getting more tissues. You're getting 50 more
A better buy
tissues.
would be.
Oh, so you're getting $1.22 for a box of 175 tissues. So you'd use $1.22 for 175 tissues, so $1.22 for 175, right? You do, let me see, can you see that?
175, whatever, 132.
So the dollar amount for K is $1.22 for 175 tissues. And S would be 129 minus 20 cents is $1.09 for 125 tissues. And then you'd have to see which one's the better buy there, right? Okay, there's some other ones I have marked here. The average on 38, it says all the plans, all these plans here, the Verizon, T-Mobile, all these plans allow unlimited calls on nights and weekends. So you would be using the anytime minutes on weekdays. That's what most plans do. Figure out the average number of weekdays per month. So what you do is there's 52 weeks in a year times 5 weekdays, not 7 week, right? It's the weekdays, not the weekends. 5 times 52 gives you 260 weekdays. 260 weekdays in a year. Okay, so that's in a year. If you divide that by 12, you find out how much for 1 month. 260 divided by 12 gives you 21.6 repeating. So it's about 21.7 average weekdays per month. Okay, so you needed to figure that out. And then for each plan, how many minutes could you use per weekday? Round to the nearest whole minute. Okay, so what you do is you figure out, let's see, how many minutes could you use for every weekday? Okay, here's your minutes here. Here's your anytime minutes for a month. So if you divided that by how many minutes, you'd see how many you could use per day, right? You do the minutes divided by this for each plan, okay? And then round it to the nearest whole minute. That would be to the nearest 1, not 10th or 100th, to the nearest 1. Okay, number 40. Suppose that every 2 months you canceled your service because you found that you only used 100 anytime minutes. So you don't use very many anytime minutes. Under those conditions, find the actual cost per anytime minute for each company to the nearest cent. Okay, so you're only using 100 minutes. Let me see. Every 2 months you did it. So see, you have 100 minutes every month. You know how you do the cost per minute? This would be your cost divided by how many minutes. Okay, if Verizon, you have a 35 cost no matter how many minutes you use. That's 35. And then this is 2 months of the monthly charge. You have this charge plus 2 of these charges and a termination fee of 175. You have to add the termination fee in. So you got monthly, the activation plus 2 months of monthly charge plus the termination fee. You only used it 2 months, 100 minutes each. Divide it by 200 minutes, see how much it costed you. And you have to do that for each plan, all 4 plans. Find the actual cost per anytime minute for each company. So you got to do that each time. Lots of work there. Okay, 5.3 proportions. We've been doing proportions when we were doing percentages. Did we do some proportions there? Okay. To determine a proportion, like, you know that 1/2 is equal to 5/10, right? 5/10 is 1/2. Okay, to see if the number, if these are a proportion, you can do this times this, and this times this. These are called cross products, because you're going across and you're multiplying. 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 1 is 10. So this is, yes, it's a proportion. Okay, so if it gives you two fractions and say, are they proportional? Or like 5/9 equals 18/27. Is that a proportion? If you do 9 times 18, 162. 5 times 27, we already know it's not, because 5 times something's going to end in a 5, right? You already know it's not going to be that. 135. So this one, no, it's not a proportion. Okay? If you have fractions in there, you have to remember how to do fractions. So you have 2 1/3 to 3 1/2, or 3 1/3. Is that proportional to 9 to 16? Do this times this. So you're going to do 3 1/3 times 9. Remember how you have to, 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, you can divide that, right? Divide by 3, you get 30. 10 times 3 is 30/1. So that multiplies to be 30. 2 1/3 times 16. 3 times 2, 6 plus 1 is 7. Okay, you can't divide here. 7 times 16, 112/3. And that does not come out to 30, does it? It comes out to 37 1/3 when you actually do that divided by that. These are not proportional, so this is not a proportion. Okay, multiply, it's called cross products, multiply cross. Okay, so anytime it gives you one, you could do that, or you could reduce both of them. It's easier just to multiply them out.
So when you multiply them up like that, and if they don't equal to the,
If they're not equal, it's not a proportion. Okay, like, let's see if this one is 20 to 25 equals 4 to 5. What's 25 times 4? 100. What's 5 times 20?
100.
Okay, so that one's a proportion. That one's a yes or a true, or what, however it gives you the problem. Yes, that's a proportion. Okay? How about 20/28 equals 12/16? 28 times 12,
1856.
300.
what is it?
let me see.
28 times 12,
336.
336. How about 16 times 20?
320.
320? Okay, that one's
Where's my calculator?
no or false or whatever. It's not a proportion. Okay? Got that down?
So 328 and equals 12/16 is not a proportion, right? It's a false or?
20/28 equals 12/16 is not a proportion, because 320 is not equal to 336 when you multiply that. Okay, where was the columns that started that you wanted?
28,
Okay, let's do 28.
or you can do 28 or 29. Tell me what the decimal and the fraction.
27 has a decimal. Oh, it doesn't have a fraction though.
Well, the decimal and then the.
Okay, number 27 would be like 28.
Okay.
18 over 16 equals 2.8 over 2.5. So you need to do 16 times 2.8. And what do you get?
44.8.
44.8 and 2.5 times 18.
45.
45? It's close, but it's not equal, is it? Even if it's close, it has to be exact, so it's still no. No, or actually it says true or false, so
So it would be a false.
one.
Yeah.
Okay? How about number 30? It's got a fraction in it. No, you guys do the evens, right? I'll do number 29. 6 over 3 2/3 equals 18 over 11. Well, that one's easy. That's 66, right? 6 times 11. Now let's
Six
see.
times 11,
3
66.
2/3 times 18. 9, 10, 11. Okay, so you could divide by 3 here, right? Divide by 3 is 1, divide by 3 is 6. 11 times 6, we got 66
66.
again.
So
So that one's a true.
Oh, I see.
Sure?
Cool.
Okay, so you,
If they both equal to the same,
If
match
we
the number.
multiply across and they're equal, then it's true.
Okay.
It is a proportion.
And you can find that answer by just breaking them down, by dividing them first, by making them go to the to the.
No least common multiples. No, you just multiply straight up.
But you know how you
You have to
divided
change it
into-
to an improper fraction. Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. 31, 258 over 3 1/4. Is that equal to 21 over 26? Okay. 16 plus 5 is 21. We're multiplying that times 26. These won't divide by 8, but you could divide by 2. Divide by 2. Okay, so 21 times 13. What is 21 times 13? 21 times 13, come on.
It's 373. Let me see if I got it right, because I
273.
did it really
Okay,
fast.
273 divided by 4. Okay, that's 68 and 1/4. Okay, so that would be 21/8 times 26. That's this one right here, right? Okay, let's do 3 1/4 times 21. So you have 4 on bottom, 12, 13. 13 times 21 again. 273, 1 times 4. Well, that's obviously the same thing, huh?
Mhm.
So that one would be a true one. You don't even need to convert it again. Okay?
So we work them that long until we find out if it's true or false.
Yeah,
False.
multiply it. Okay, are there any questions? No? Okay, go ahead and finish your grading and do your